Welcome back to the Buzz, our second podcast show. I know it's been a while, but the Buzz is basically the buzz around the ATL or maybe anything around the SFL. But I'm your host Swole, and I'm here today with my co-host Siege. How you doing today, man?
Doing pretty good, man. Glad to be here.
Look, I'm glad to have you, and I'm glad to be back. So let's just hop right into this. There's some few things we got to get caught up with, and for all those ATL listeners out there, we're trying to come here tonight to catch y'all up with. So the first thing that we have on our to talk about is the Atlanta Swarms and our re-signing. We have recently re-signed 19 of 20 players, um, and we're just looking to fill that one spot. But how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the process of re-signing, 19 players?
It was pretty nice, being 95%, is pretty good, and being able to bring the majority or all of our defense back and the majority of our offense, and having that fluidity and keeping that chemistry, especially on our defense, because I really feel like that's going to be a strong point this season, and it's always been our backbone. It's really going to help, you know, Dynasty, and keeping that pressure off of him because they're going to get turnovers and then, he's going to be able to just ball out. So, I, I think it's going to be really cool with what we're going to end up doing with either, having a free safety, a second free safety like we did last season before we promoted Chris Henry, when Aaron Lee got, the boot,
Right.
or if we go back to our core, three wide receiver look, which has been, kind of our bread and butter, especially when we won our championship. That was, what really pushed us through. So
Right. Um, yeah, just talking a little bit off of that, I'm glad that we got as much retention as we did because starting over or trying to get new players into the culture that we have here, I wouldn't say it's hard, but it takes longer to mold people, into that culture and get
yeah,
them into, in tune with everybody and everybody's on the same page. So, bringing back almost everybody that we did, everybody knows each other. It's like family, and I feel like it's going to be
yeah,
easier
exactly.
to roll with the gameplay instead of adapting again to somebody else coming in. And also, shout out Brian Dynasty because I
Hmm.
almost forgot. I want to give this shout out to him, getting his SFL honors of Offensive Player of the Year. So
Yep.
big ups to him on that. Uh,
Oh yeah, for
Congratulations,
sure.
young man, and we wish nothing but more success for next season, season 16. But
Oh yeah,
going
he's
off
leading his dynasty.
facts. But going off of that, still, like I said, with the 19 of 20 players, who was somebody that you expect to maybe have a breakout season?
So I've been really focusing on our offense a lot during Sims, but I really see Chris Henry making a huge impact. I know halfway through the season is where he really started to shine, but this season once he really gets his animations going and he really gets settled into that defense and being that leader at free safety, being the number one free safety instead of that number two, he's been studying all off season, and working hard, and I'm really excited what he's gonna do. I mean, he's gonna be a beast.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I do have a pick, but just piggybacking off of that, Chris Henry's probably been the most vocal leader, I should say, for the defensive side for sure.
Oh yeah,
He's a guy that, hey, you tell me what to do, I'm gonna do it, and if you don't tell me what to do, I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna give you 110%.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that, he worked it. He's literally the definition from couch to player. I'm talking about the couch to field.
hmm,
He started from what second string, worked his way up to first string, and then after first string, he's been balling ever since. And he still says, "Hey, I got a chip on my
yep,
shoulder. I want my throne. Call me king. I'm here to stay."
yep.
And I just love that
Got
about
something to
him.
prove. It's awesome.
Right. But my pick of probably the outbreak player on the Atlanta Swarm, I would have to go with Jamal Wooding. our tight
Ooh,
end.
that's a good one.
Right. I know he's had a down season last season, but I think the first two seasons he was in here, he was probably the number one and two tight end, and I feel like he's gonna make a
Oh
resurgence
yeah.
this season or season 16 going in. That he's hey, don't forget about me. I'm still that guy. So I think that's a player to watch.
Right. I think Jamal led the league in like yards per catch for like two
hmm
seasons.
He
Like
definitely.
it
Yep.
was like 30 plus yards per catch or something. Like it was wild when he was really on his high horse, and he's he, he's been looking and studying that film, in there
Absolutely.
with Dynasty and working up that chemistry. So I really, I agree. I really feel like he's gonna show, because people have never really like they know he's elite, but they've never like Tiberius Bovine, and all the other greats. Like they're never like Jamal, is there, but he's got I think he's got one more season to really prove it, one or two, and then people are gonna be like, all right, this man's actually something, to watch out for.
Absolutely. So look, be looking to get him, be seeing him getting more touches and more catches per yards. Like I said, I feel like he's always
Yep.
a sleeper, but he's gonna let the people know. Don't forget about me. I'm Jamal Wooding.
Yep.
So I know after season 15, there's been a kind of like a big shakeup with free agency. Different high top players going to different teams. It's been kind of crazy. You've having the I guess the rebranding of Chicago. I think now that they are the Los Angeles Lycans, and then you have two new additional teams, which you have the DC Dragons, and then what's the other one? Um,
San Diego
yeah,
Mavericks.
San Diego Mavericks. So shout out Optimus on that. That's his team. But just with the free agency, who did you think was kind of like a shocker or just like whoa, I didn't see that coming? Any
I
surprises
don't
or
know.
anything?
I think it was. I I think it's kind of crazy that we have two more expansion teams on top of having the rebranding compared to last season when we were also dealing with two expansion teams. Or was it three? I think it was three because we had Louisiana, Lone Star, and Fort Worth, right?
Right. Yeah.
But one of those was also a rebranding, right?
Correct. Yeah, because one took
Yeah.
over
So
for over Seattle Tyrants, and I think it was
right.
the Glory. Um. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so much like new people are coming into the league, and there's so much content nowadays. It, I really feel like this league's gonna blow up. Eventually, like someone high up there's gonna be like, there's something here. And
Yep.
that's what I'm excited about is to slowly see this league build up and build up every season.
I like that. Yeah, that I didn't even think that's a good route to go to. Yeah, those three or two new expansion teams. That's actually pretty good. Um, a free agent that kind of caught my surprise. What was kind of a couple? It was quarterbacks actually. So Solly Richardson to the Lycans, and then you also had Xander Gold
Hmm.
to Carolina. So that's going to be interesting to see how,
Really?
yeah, see how that shapes out and what quarterback
Okay.
pops off and which one shows up and doesn't, because I think Sully Richardson was in the All Star game, so he actually had he had
Uh-huh.
a pretty good season, season 15. So if he can carry it over, it'll be pretty good. Hopefully stays with it.
I didn't even know that he went to Carolina.
Yeah, went to Carolina. Like I
What?
said, it was kind of a
Wow,
shock
he
because
is.
yeah.
Wow.
I thought he would stayed in Fort Worth, but I guess he decided to change the scenery, and we'll see how he does there.
Yeah.
But
And Tiberius Bovine's in Los Angeles or Las
absolutely,
Vegas.
yeah. Like I said, there's been a
What?
lot of a lot of shakeups. It's been some crazy things happening. It's interesting to see how how those players go and what they what they're gonna do on their new respective teams. So be keeping an eye out.
Hmm.
But switching gears now, the SFLm championship was played yesterday, I believe. No, 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 no.
Hmm.
Sunday. Yeah,
Or
yeah,
no,
Sunday.
yeah,
Yeah,
Sunday, 2 days ago.
yeah, and that was against it was the Birmingham Fuel versus the Albuquerque Adams, which was, I believe, in my
Hmm.
opinion, had to have been the top games of all the SFL. Insane, different uh, game changers, fumbling close to the one, and then another team drives down for the last few seconds and end up throwing an interception. So I just want to say right here, shout out to both of those teams, the Birmingham Fuel and then
Hmm.
also the Albuquerque Adams for actually coming out on top and winning that. Just insane coaching on both of those staffs, and shout out to Adam that coached Birmingham Fuel, and also shout out to Jason Williams that coached the Albuquerque Adams. So just an insane game overall and very enjoyable, and was definitely kept you on your edge of your seat for sure. Uh, Going to the rookie draft now. Switching gears to that.
All
I
right.
think we have the number 14 pick in the first round.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Number 14.
yeah. How do you feel about that? What do you think we need to focus on more this season than last?
Right. So being the middle of the pack, isn't too terrible. So we should be able to get, you know, somebody that we like. So we're not too worried about, finding someone that we really, can, deal with in the locker room and all that good stuff. But it's more so just finding, consistency for dynasty. Whether or not he's gonna do, better if we put him with a third, wide receiver, or if we just try to be more concrete on, the 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 core three that we have, plus BDG,
Mm-hmm.
and then just put that extra guy on the defense, and then just beef up our defense so people can't, run those three or four wide receiver formations and then just ball out on us. We can just really be stacked out. And then teams that they can't force us out of formations that we're not good in because we literally have star players in every single defensive formation.
Right.
It's going to be almost impossible to stop unless you can, you know, get lucky. And that's not how you win football games around here. It's a lot about skill
Mm-hmm.
and having a good coaching ability and having players that show up every day to play. So
Absolutely, and game planning is definitely a big thing of that too. Getting your star
mhm.
players in the right positions to make big star plays. Um,
Right, and you definitely know that winning a championship, you realize how important that is.
right, absolutely. You want to get them involved as much as possible, and I think we learned that a lot going into season 14 when we actually drafted another player for a free safety, I believe, and that actually helped
Right.
out a lot for us going against teams that happen to pass a little bit more or wanted to run the ball a little bit
Hmm.
more outside, and just that extra help ended up boosting us to that championship. So I think our position where we are with number 14 going for the season 16 draft, I think is good. It's in the middle, so it gives us kind of an idea of where teams have their mindset of drafting above us, and also gives us wiggle
Right.
room to kind of have a backup plan of where we want to shift or focus our direction if we want to go offense or defense there. But yeah, stay
Hmm.
tuned on that because, like I said, we might pull out another trick out of our sleeves like we did seasons ago. So you just never know where we might
Yep.
go. Um, and the last thing that I want to talk about, since it's getting close to Christmas time, we're in the Christmas spirit here. I just want to ask you, what is something that you want for Christmas? What is something you said, hey, Santa, this is what I want for Christmas because I've been so good?
Uh, I don't know. I think it's got to be some of our Atlanta merch. I mean, do some plugging. It's got to
Y'all
be
see
like our
that merch
Atlanta
down there?
flag. Yeah. Well, I've always wanted to put one on my wall back here. Just Sector 6, sector6.com/ Atlanta Swarm.
Right. Well, from my
But
angle, it
just
looks like
putting
you
one
got
of
that
those
big
on my
old
wall.
Atlanta swarm in the back there. It looks nice, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the virtual version. I just
There
gotta
you
get the
go.
real one.
Yeah, I like that. So yours is merch for Christmas, huh?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I hear you. So,
What about you?
um, you know what? That was funny because I was gonna say merch. But I wouldn't mind. Look, I'm
I'm
gonna.
sorry.
No, you're good. I'm gonna go off with something that you had mentioned to me off podcast, and that's merch for animals. Getting like little
Ooh, yeah,
either vest or little beanies or something. I mean, hey,
yeah, a little
hey,
swarm beanie.
right, hey, any pet or animal sponsors that want to sponsor us, hey, hit us up. We got pets, we got
Yeah,
cats, we got dogs. Hey, let us know and we can put it on there and we can get y'all out there.
yeah. We'll have like whole Instagrams hooked up where,
Hey, we got
we'll
y'all. We'll
have like
tag
the,
y'all. We got y'all.
yeah, Atlanta Swarm like pets,
Facts.
ATL pets, follow them now. All right, should
Right.
be should be live by now. The time this episode comes
There you go.
up.
As we wrap it up, though, is there anything any last words that you want to say to anybody out there listening? SFL, ATL. You got the last words, and we'll close it out.
um, Nothing too crazy. I'm excited for the draft coming up next week. At least I think it's next week. I
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I, I hope all the rookies,
Facts.
yeah, I hope all the rookies, they're super excited and have a great time, coming into the majors, and don't be down if you don't fall, into the draft. There's always free agency. We picked up two guys in the free agency
Mm-hmm.
or during last season in the middle of the season. Your opportunity, you never know when it may come. Don't lose that hope. It's always going to come. Your opportunity is gonna come either if that's running back or if you end up doing something that you may not have thought, like tight end or defensive line. Because my original position was quarterback. And then I was just like, well, I guess I'll do wide receiver because Marcus is already the quarterback for the Atlanta Swarm. So I was just like, might as well. So.
Right. So yeah, just with that, just rookies out there, um, make sure you're getting your interviews in, but also keep an open
Hmm.
mind. Um, even if your first position is not open, like C said, hey, you might have to fall back to your second or third. But eventually, if your first position opens up, you might have a chance to go get it. But just have an open mind. Be courteous of the GMs and owners' time as well. Be respectful. Present yourself like you
Hmm.
would want to present yourself professionally. Put your name out there.
Right.
State where you're coming from, your position. Just let them know that hey, I'm here and I'm available to have a conversation with you. Um, Also, with that being said, I'll leave it with you on this one. The rookie draft is Saturday, December 19th through the 21st. December 19th will be the first round, and I believe all the rounds will start at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time and 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the SFL Twitch channel. So, with all in all,
That's Saturday.
yep,
That's this
that's
Saturday.
exactly coming up soon. So, with that being said, if you don't have anything else, we're out, and we'll see y'all later.
Yep. Peace.
Peace.